Welcome to Wisdom for Your Day, where we explore the resilience, financial literacy, and long-term thinking you need to take personal responsibility for your future. Leon Howard, known as the Wall Street Trapper, built his platform on a specific observation: financial ignorance creates a more permanent confinement than any physical street. Howard grew up in one of the toughest neighborhoods in New Orleans, where reality was defined by extreme poverty and constant exposure to violence. After witnessing his mother being shot and experiencing teenage homelessness, he was sentenced to prison at age 16. Escaping that environment required more than a change in location. He had to identify and dismantle survival mechanisms that, while useful on the street, would hinder his success in the professional world. Before he could navigate the stock market, Howard had to develop the emotional intelligence to process 5 hardships that defined his early life. First, he had to address the trauma of his upbringing. He realized that while he couldn't change his caste, emotional growth began when he chose a path not dictated by his surroundings. He viewed his history of homelessness and family instability as a forge. For Howard, resilience wasn't an abstract concept. It was a skill developed by surviving rock bottom. He also had to confront unmanaged anger. He recognized that his past decisions were often symptoms of unregulated emotions, and that long-term success required total control over his reactions. Prison forced him to learn humility, and growth only became possible when he was willing to admit what he didn't know and accept guidance from others. Finally, he faced the challenge of rebuilding his identity. After his release, he focused on building a new reputation through consistent actions, proving that a criminal record did not have to define his future. During his sentence, a cellmate told him, "Y'all playing the wrong game." That statement sparked a shift from a survival mindset to one focused on asset ownership. Howard spent his time behind bars studying how to stop working for wages and start owning the systems that produce them. He applied strict self-discipline to his financial education, reading daily to build a growth mindset. He treated the prison library as a training ground for the financial markets. This self-awareness allowed him to shed old survival behaviors. He replaced them with a mission to teach the same financial principles to communities that the traditional system often ignores. Persistence kept him focused after his release. Despite the friction of a criminal record and the initial lack of capital, he remained committed to building wealth over the long term. By pairing emotional regulation with daily study, he built a foundation for wealth that proved resistant to external setbacks. After prison, Howard worked as an ironworker. He used that grueling physical labor as an engine to generate the capital he needed to start. He channeled a massive portion of his wages directly into the stock market, applying the theories he had studied for years. This experience led him to a core business philosophy: own nothing, control everything. Strategically, an LLC holds the asset, separating the individual from personal liability while maintaining the benefits. By layering a trust above the LLC, you ensure strategic control and protection for generations, without your name on the deed. Financial power is found in how you structure your legal control over assets, rather than just the number of things you personally possess. Howard built the Wall Street Trapper brand to bring these financial structures to a wider audience. He leads by turning his past hardships into teaching moments. He argues that information is the most valuable asset you can have, because knowledge compounds faster than money. His approach focuses on service and long-term thinking. He teaches that wealth is built through consistent, disciplined action, rather than chasing a quick profit. He constantly challenges the belief that success is reserved for a specific class of people, proving that circumstances do not dictate potential. These lessons all serve one primary goal: let's turn our last names into an asset. You can apply these principles starting today. Manage your emotions, regulate your impulses, and commit to continuous financial learning. As Howard often says, the stock market is simply a massive transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. Instead of complaining about how the financial system works, take the time to learn the rules of the game and use them to your advantage. Thank you for joining Wisdom for Your Day. Now, take personal responsibility for your education, step up, and shape your own future. True wealth isn't a solitary sprint for cash. It's a generational relay race built on knowledge. If you are ready to grow, subscribe, follow, and join our community. Find our full library of stories on YouTube under Wisdom for Your Day. Stay resilient and remember to be yourself. Everyone else is taken.